You know, one of my favorite things to do is to bring you fire conversation. One of my favorite things to do is to bring you fire conversation when the person is lit beyond compare. Okay, so I have been checking out this lady's her TikToks and her posts that she's been putting out from her podcast, and I'm just like, okay, maybe we were separated at birth somewhere, and this is definitely one of those conversations where I might need to warn Sonny's Corner to turn the volume down because that might be an issue. All right, so I want to bring on one of my favorite political commentators. I love following this woman, Megan McGlover. She has a new book coming out called Stop Lying, or your book is already out, and a podcast called Talking Good with Megan McGlover. Welcome to the show, sis. How you doing?
Man, thank you so much, Sonny. This is crazy because I love everything that you do, everything you've been doing. You know, I am, your biggest hype man for sure. I'm just honored. I was honored by your request to have me on your show. And, I think that, it is a few of us that were separated,
Yeah.
because we are just on the same wavelength 100%.
And when you see it, you know it's authentic. And like that's the thing. It's like you don't question it when you see it. When you see it, you know it. And if you want to try to explain to someone what it is you're seeing, then it's not meant for them. But definitely it was
Right.
seeing you and hearing you and not only feeling your passion, but the logic you put into your responses. Man, it has been a complete honor to watch you. So I'm guessing you get a lot of the same things that I get. Do you get a lot of the, why do you have to be so loud? Why do you have to be so angry? Why do you have to curse so much? Do you get a lot of that as you putting your message out?
Well, I used to, but I blocked so many people. I think that they have sent out a memo and said, listen, Megan will not engage. She will not engage. If you listen, you got two choices: turn the volume down or don't watch. Those are your two choices. You do not have a third choice to bother me. You do not have a fourth choice to try to critique me. You do not have a fifth choice to try to make me do something that you want me to do, which is outside of who I am. You got two choices. You can turn the volume down or you can not watch me at all. Those are your two choices. You don't have all these different options and decisions and choices and all this other kind of shit. You don't have all of that. You got two variables in your empirical study. Two.
Choose wisely. Choose wisely.
Yeah, freaking discuss this crap with these people back and forth. You gonna tell me what to do? I'm not gonna do. And then I don't even bother with getting into the whole thing of. I was actually taught to project. I am a third generation oratorical speaker. That's why I speak as loudly as I do, because I was taught to speak loudly. I was literally taught to project. Now, if I wanted to talk like this, I could talk like this too, but I don't choose to do that. So again,
Hey,
you got two choices.
I said, look,
Turn the volume down.
I got my honestly, when I was a kid, I used to be real quiet, right? And so my mom used to beat my butt for that. Open your mouth, learn how to talk. People speaking to you. So I used to literally get beat for not being loud enough. So yeah, you're gonna get every bit of this loud now. Like I took every single one of them belt swats then for you to get every single ounce of this loud right now. I took the lashes for this. So now I'm gonna deliver it like it was given. Yeah, lesson learned the hard way.
Right. Yeah, but, and again, people don't like it, they don't have to. I'm not forcing you to like loud talking. You don't have to like it.
What inspired you to come into this space and actually start having these conversations? Was it something particular, or were you like, okay, I've had enough? So, what exactly was it that inspired you to kind of come into this space and start making these videos?
The political space or the just videos in general?
Just the
Because
well,
it's two
the
different.
commentary space, I would really say, because you don't just focus on politics. I think you take on a lot of cultural issues as well. So I wouldn't want to pigeonhole you into kind of one area just saying political, but that kind of political cultural space where, like, a lot of people are afraid to insert commentary at this point because everybody's either scared of being a snowflake or scared of being canceled. And to see you just do it so fearlessly is like what inspired you to get to this point.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I guess I kind of can combine both. So in 2010, the end of 2010, I moved from California. I'm born and raised in Southern California, and I moved from there to Atlanta, Georgia. And in January of 2011, there was a crazy snowstorm. And my family, my mother, my sisters, and so forth and so on, who were back in California, kept calling me, "Oh my goodness, Megan, what are you doing? How's the snow? I know you're not surviving, blah, blah, blah." So instead of calling a bunch of people at one time, I just started doing videos and putting them on YouTube. And they were weather reports. So I was like my own newscaster doing the weather. But then I would tie in a bunch of stuff that was going on in the news and just, talk about stuff. So those videos went viral, but they really were just for my family because I got tired of all the phone calls, right? So that's really how it started. And they went viral, and I was on the news. And I'm sorry.
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that like the equivalent of when we. Okay, so look, we got all of these bags here. We're gonna use them for trash bags. We're not just gonna throw it. Like, that's our natural sense of learning how to take one thing and recycle it across many different areas to solve a common problem.
That's right. That's right. So that's how it started. And then my mother passed away in 2012. And then so I kind of halted everything. It was really traumatic for me. And then I got back into just doing videos talking about stuff, just different things. The reason why I got into more of the space of cultural, for one, African American culture or Black culture or melanated culture or whatever you want to call it, is because that's who I am, right? So I am melanated, so I have to talk about stuff that affects me, right? And as I begin to learn and widen my understanding, or overstanding for some of the Israelites that are listening, I wanted to expound on what I feel is the boundaries for African Americans. So I wanted to kind of expand and expound and say, listen, this is what I've learned. This is what I'm understanding. Let me break it down for you, to you, so that you can get a hold of this. Because if we don't get a hold of this is going to happen. I've already been a truth-telling person all my life. I've never shied away from saying how I feel, even when I was little. So this is nothing new. The beautiful thing is I don't have ill intent. I'm really trying to help. I'm really trying to get it through, the very thick skull of pain, suffering, grief, slavery, oppression, whatever. I'm trying to get through to that with a very piercing truth so that you can finally understand and get your crap together. Can we cuss on here, son?
We try to keep it to a minimal. If it slips,
Okay, no, it's fine. I'll say crap. Get your crap together. Because it really needs to be done. As you can see, we're just going 100% backwards, and it's getting worse and worse. So that's how it started. And that's kind of why I do what I do. I'm really trying to get people to really get a hold of what's going on, because topical is is a slippery slope. Let me tell you, if you don't get down deep, you're gonna have a problem.
And I think, like you said, that's something that we're experiencing right now because we're having a lot of these surface level conversations. And it's not a lot of people who want to take it beyond that surface level. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier to
Right.
keep us fighting and to keep us bickering amongst ourselves if we keep focusing on low hanging fruit. If we keep focusing on calling each other racist or talking about white supremacy, then we're not going to be able to elevate a conversation. And that, you know what I'm saying, it becomes something that throws you into a label as opposed to actually opening up relevant conversation. But when you do it with the kind of sass and pizzazz and passion that you do, that I think is what is so jarring. And like, especially to me, this is what I do. So I've heard everything, you know what I'm saying? And if I haven't heard it, I probably said it. And you have a different way of looking at it and putting it out into the sphere where people don't necessarily feel judged, even if they feel laughed at. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even if it's like, yeah, I'm totally making fun of you and your actions, how you carry yourself. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't come off malicious or with ill intent. It's just like, yeah, I see you clearly. And I think when you deliver a message to people where it's just like, I see you, that's why you get more reception as opposed to just being judgmental.
Well, thank you. I think that is because I'm the auntie. See, I'm an auntie, right? So, your auntie can say things to you that your mother can't.
Hey!
Right? Right? And you can talk to your auntie about things you wouldn't talk to your mother. Right? So, I'm the auntie. So I can say to you, come over here. Now, why do you have this shirt on? Why do you have this shirt on? You know this shirt don't fit. Come here. Now, this shirt don't fit at all. And I told you, now this is all happening while I'm licking my fingers, getting crust out your eyes. I'm talking and I'm just straightening it all up. I told you that I wanted you to stop eating all those burritos like that because look at your stomach. Look at this. Now, look at this. Now, Auntie wants you to do better because you're just a pretty girl. You're such a pretty girl. See, that's the auntie, right? And so then it's like, Auntie, yeah, I know you told me, but I'm just trying. Okay, well, Auntie's going to help you. Okay? I'm going to help you because I want you to be the very best because you are the best. While I'm critiquing, I am loving, but I'm still telling you that this shirt is too small. You shouldn't have on this shirt. You should have on this shirt.
Hey.
This shirt is too tight.
And
I put in there that you need to lose a little weight. I put that in there too. So you stop eating all the burritos. So it's an auntie has a way of saying things, but you know that your auntie loves you. Like, this is my auntie. Like, of course Auntie Megan loves me. Like, what are you talking about? It's not even a question.
Sonny's Corner knows. Sonny's Corner knows very well about Auntie because Auntie Sonny have to pop up on this joint quite a few. Auntie Sonny has to pop up on here quite a few times and be like, "Look, come here, let me holler at you. Let me holler at you for a second, cause you're not about to like what I'm gonna say to you, but you need somebody to pull you to the side."
Same thing. I love that. Yes.
Yes. So if your other pundits ain't gonna pull you to the side, if your other think tanks ain't gonna pull you to the side, if your other politicians ain't gonna pull you to the side, your consultants and all of these people that you're following and got you thinking about this nonsense, if none of them are gonna pull you to the side, Auntie Sonny is gonna come and pull you to the side and say, "Look, we need to talk," and you're not gonna like it. And that's how the conversation goes. So people here definitely on Sonny's Corner completely understand where you're coming from on that perspective. So I'm getting ready to ask Megan, right? Megan, I need you to make a video for me, right? I need you to make a video for me. What's your topic right now? What is on your mind where you like, this is the thing that happened to me right now that I would flex about?
I don't know. Well, okay. So I have a classic car and I need to get the battery changed out of it. And so I've called, AAA, and they keep sending people that look like me, skin folk, and they don't have the battery when they get here. They never seem to have the battery because it takes a certain size. They never seem to have the battery. And so I could do a video about incompetence. Because I'm tired. I'm tired. I keep calling back. I got to keep calling back and calling back. And in a minute, I'm going to just go ahead and say, don't send anyone of melanation to my house. Don't do it. Don't do it again. I want either a Caucasian over here, an Asian over here. You can bring an Indian if they know how to change the battery. I don't know. Don't say, because this is the third. Now it's the fourth time I'm going to have to call. And we talk about AAA. AAA has been changing batteries since Noah needed one in his boat. That's how long this company's been around. So trust me, it's not AAA. It's these little subsidiary companies that they keep, trying to give business to, that don't have what they need. And every time I turn around, I got to open up my garage for somebody to tell me they don't have what I need. We can do a video on incompetence. Okay, so what do you want now, Sonny? What do you say? Yeah, you want me to do what?
Sis! No, sis, I'm not supposed to be over here cracking up like this. I'm supposed to be like professional and providing quality
that's
content.
right.
Yo,
Everybody
you got
needs a
me dying laughing over here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. No, that's like, but even so, like, even being able to understand like that look, I can't even talk, you guys. To understand that interthread that we all have, because I know a lot of us get to that place, and to be able to have you articulate it and we can laugh at it instead of being frustrated at it, because I'm at the exact same place with a crack in my window. So like we had a really big snowstorm, and the trees broke everywhere, and it cracked the window to my truck. And like, so we're having like the exact same problem with them being able to locate the right window that we need. And it's just like, it is so funny, just everyday common things. And when you just have, like I said, just the spirit that you have, man, you are like infectious. And it is refreshing to my heart and to my soul. Is there anything that you would like to like ask me, or anything you wanted, like where your perspective from me would be beneficial for you?
Yes, I would like to know what keeps you going. People ask me that all the time, but very rarely do I get to ask a colleague, or someone that I look up to as well. What keeps you going? How do you keep motivated? What keeps you inspired, and where do you see the country? So this is a two-part question. Where do you see the country in another year, and where do you see Black culture in another year as well in America?
Okay, for what keeps me motivated and going is you. Seriously, it's you guys. When I see you being creative, when I see you taking chances, taking risk, being unafraid, being bold, or like I like to call it uppity. When I see that, I want to knock every barrier down that I think you might run into. That's what feeds me. So I'm like, okay, I'm seeing all you guys coming, and I'm like, okay, I'm loving this. I want to knock everything down, so when y'all come, y'all are not running into the same roadblocks that I ran into. So that is really what motivates me is making it easier for you guys to maneuver and move in this space without hitting so many of the low and petty conversations that I've had to deal with the entire time that I've been doing this. So I figured that the more I can knock those down, the more I can make them easier for y'all, then that's my purpose and my point. And if I get to be a fan of you guys in the process, and I get to come bring you guys on, give you my platform, have fire conversations, I'm fed. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate you guys for giving me the content of letting me be a fan, of letting me be inspired, of letting me laugh. Like, do you understand how much I laughed? Like that is immeasurable to me. So
Yeah.
my answer always to that is going to be you guys. You guys do it for me. You are enough for me. And when it comes to where do I see, I like the black culture aspect of that question a lot, because I think you're seeing the change in the culture. The culture has already changed, and that's why you have this eternal fight within the culture. Like, just because it isn't a mainstream discussion doesn't mean that the discussion isn't happening. So you have a certain subsect, if we use hip-hop as one section of black culture that we're going to use as an example, you have a huge portion of males, black men within the hip-hop sphere who are very much married. They're taking care of their kids, they're becoming fathers, they're becoming entrepreneurs, they're investing in multiple different streams of revenue. They're creating legacies for their kids, and then they're taking those lessons and they're putting it into their music. They're putting it into into their groups that they're forming. Like, they're actually taking that information that they have learned the hard way and starting to disseminate it back to a population that needs it the most. And I don't think people recognize it, talk about it, and acknowledge and uplift it enough for us to really understand the impact that it is currently having and the impact that it's going to have for years to come. I take the example of like a Nipsey Hussle, and with the marathon continues, and how many people are still running that marathon because they were inspired by what Nipsey had to say. I don't want to change that format. I don't want to change that blueprint. I want that format, that blueprint to stay exactly as it is, and let the culture move it forward. Let those voices that have the scars that came through the progressivism and have the bruises to prove it, let them show you it's a better, brighter way, and that looks a lot like conservatism. So I think you're seeing that come from the culture. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not people on the right and the Republicans actually want to accept that and start having a conversation with it. Because progressives have put out a very negative connotation of what our culture is, and it isn't the only aspect. And we're never going to win the Marxists, but there is a huge section of black capitalists that I think are open for the taking. And if we focus there, I think we would be more beneficial in having our ideas move forward. So that's literally how I feel about it.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree with what you're saying. There is a lot of the culture that is what it always has been, which has been conservative. It has been family oriented. I mean, what do you think Sunday dinners is about?
Yep.
I mean, it's about family. What do you think barbecues and cookouts are about? It's about family. We have an enormous wealth of conservative values that we just are not really paying attention because of the quote unquote label. But by golly, if any culture should be against labeling, it should be the black culture. Because labels have really...
But I think Republicans have done themselves a disservice by how they have labeled conservatism as well. So it becomes a two-pronged approach, because I don't think, like, when we say conservatism, we're thinking one thing, and when they say it, they're thinking something different. So it becomes imperative upon us, or a part of what we have to do, to tell them what our conservatism looks like. And that's why I take my conservatism, and I base it off of a Frederick Douglass. I base it off of a Booker T. Washington, off of a Carter Woodson, off of a Malcolm X, because it lets people understand that this isn't some like white creation that I'm trying to know. This is who we've always been. This is the strain that has always run through us. So it's not a matter of trying to give you something from the outside. No, it's about reminding you who we've always been on the inside. And that is more powerful.
That's right.
And if we can start doing that, I think we move the conversations forward.
Absolutely. It's the values. And I think that people like yourself, myself, and so many others who are saying, listen, no one is trying to convince you to be, whitewashed or Uncle Tommy, or let me put it another way. No one is trying to convince you that you can't listen to KRS-One and be conservative. You know what I'm saying? No one is telling you that you have to talk like this and you have to say like and like and like and like and like all the time. Be who
Well,
you are.
actually, I legitimately came to the Republican Party and they were like, "Yo, like if you stopped with the hip hop altogether, you would be really, really influential." And I was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna stop. It's who that is as much who I am as my conservatism is. Like that is as much a part of me. Like it is inseparable and it cannot be removed and it cannot. And I really think that this is an issue that Republicans have as well. They've created their own part in this mess. And being able to tell both sides, like, y'all really not arguing with each other. Y'all kind of arguing over stupid political points that don't really matter. That becomes the linchpin, you know?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying. We come in and bring a level of balance and
Yep.
and a level of comfort and acceptance that the Republican Party absolutely 110% must they must adopt, because if you don't, you're losing the majority of your conservatives.
Yep.
Because it's about the values. It's not about, it's not really about, well, I'm a Democrat. No, I'm a Republican. It's which party holds true to my values, And so whether I listen to country music or whether I listen to hip hop, whether I, marry a white man or whether I marry a black man, whatever, what are the values in which are important enough to the party that I am ascribed to? And this is what I'm trying to get everyone, even people in my own family, I'm trying to get them to understand, like, listen, you're more conservative than I am.
Yep.
Like, what the hell are you talking about? You're way more conservative than I am. And they're like, well, no, I hate Trump. This is not about Trump. I'm talking to you about the values of which you hold.
They really hate that when you start pointing that out, boy. I have to cut this short. You gotta come back because, like, I think we just started to scratch the surface of the conversations that you and I can have. So I'm excited about having many more conversations with you in the future.
Sonny, I'm here. I'm a DM you. I'm a slide in the DM and give you my cell phone number, okay? And you just call me whenever. Send me a text message. It is an honor to be on your show. Keep doing what you're doing. God bless you. May the ancestors, the angels, and protectors be about you, okay? And fill your pockets full of grace, mercy, peace, and good health, and some money.
Okay? Amen. I accept it all.
We want health, we want peace, and money.
Yes, we do. Yes,
That's
we do.
what we want.
We want it all. All right, the one and only Megan McGlover. I promise you she will be back. This was...